Hey, how's it going, art nerds? Tis I, Mark, and yeah, welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I want to jump straight to the point, no cringy intro, no terrible jokes, and I mean it this time. But yeah, that being said, in this video on this blessed day on which you watch my channel, I'm going to be making another addition to my how to draw like famous artists playlist. And this time, I'm going to be teaching you, my lovely viewers, how to draw like the author of Chainsaw Man, Tatsuki Fujimoto. Now, if you're new to me or new to my channel or new to anything Mark, first off, welcome. I hope you like it here. We like to have fun here. But yeah, in all seriousness, if you're new and you don't know what this series on my channel is, I've already done videos on Jujutsu Kaisen's Gege Akutami, My Hero's Horikoshi Kohei, Bleach's Type Kubo, and most recently Eiichiro Oda's One Piece. So yeah, that means usually in these videos, I first like to analyze the artist's art style, breaking the video down into their anatomy style, their inking style, and their toning style. And then after analyzing, I then use all that I learned from analyzing it to then try to draw my own original character in the art style. So yeah, that being said, I don't want to waste any more of you guys' precious time. Let's get clapping, baby. Okay, so if you're a regular here on the Mark channel, you already know the manga that Mark loves. You know, One Punch Man, Kaiju number 8, Chainsaw Man. So yeah, basically, I love Chainsaw Man, bruh. And it's not even just the story, it's about the artwork too. So yeah, that being said, when you look at the art style of Chainsaw Man, at first glance, a lot of people might say it's lazy or even bad or whatever, but no. The art in Chainsaw Man, a lot of the times, while I admit is quirky, it's like art, you know? Like, I don't know what it is about the art in Chainsaw Man that makes it so avant-garde to me. It's such the opposite of cookie cutter when it comes to manga art. But whatever, I'm getting sidetracked. So Chainsaw Man's anatomy. Yeah, so if you've watched the previous manga art style videos I've made, you all know there's always an operative word that can be used to summarize the art style. For Jujutsu Kaisen, it was pointed edges. For My Hero, it was minimalist. For Bleach, it was noodly, and for One Piece, it was no rules. And for Chainsaw Man, the operative word is simple. Yes. So when looking at the art in Chainsaw Man, for the most part, it never does too much. I've said this in a video before, but the art in Chainsaw Man isn't good because the author wants to wow you with it. It's good because that's just how it happens to come out when Fujimoto draws it. Unlike most authors who you can clearly tell are trying to impress you with art, as they should, when looking at Chainsaw Man, it feels like Fujimoto isn't trying. Like, does that make sense? Don't get me wrong, it's not like he's lazy. He kind of just draws and knows that it'll come out looking good. The art in Chainsaw Man is essentially a complement to the story, not the focus. But yeah, that aside, when you look at how the people in Chainsaw Man are drawn, it's always very simple. Literally, to draw in the anatomical style of Fujimoto, all you need to do is know anatomy at a beginner level, because to be honest, the way Fujimoto draws people is very simple. The anatomy isn't always accurate. Now, at this point, if you're watching this video, you might be thinking, Mark hasn't really taught us anything about how to draw Fujimoto's anatomical style. He hasn't said anything substantial yet. And I wouldn't blame you for thinking that. To be honest, the uniqueness of Fujimoto's style doesn't really come from his anatomy. It's more from his inking style, and we'll cover that later in the video. But basically, anatomy wise, if you want to nail Fujimoto's style, what you need to do is look at the way he draws eyes, noses, and feet. Fujimoto draws the eyes of his human characters the same all the time. Two bent parallel lines that never touch. Then you put a dot or a circle in between for the pupils. For female characters, the top line would be thicker to indicate thicker eyelashes or whatever. But yeah, the way Fujimoto draws noses for the most part, sometimes it varies in size and width, but he always uses two lines. One longer line that bends in the shape of a nose like this, and one short line for the nostril like this. 95% of the time, he draws the nose like this. No matter what the angle is, head on, a side profile, slightly turned, whatever. The only time it changes is if you're looking at the character from above or below. And lastly, the last defining feature of Fujimoto's anatomical style is the way he draws feet. And just like the nose, it'll vary in size and thickness depending on the character and depending on if they're male and female or whatever. But essentially, he always draws feet in a box shape. See? Just like this. Very boxy and very far from anatomically correct. Okay, now we've covered Fujimoto's anatomical style, let's move on to the most defining aspect of Fujimoto's artwork, his inking style. Okay, so Fujimoto's inking style is what makes his artwork stand out. Unlike almost, if not all other manga artists who are unique because of how they draw their characters or whatever, Fujimoto is unique because of how he inks. Fujimoto's inking style is lazy. Lazy, lazy. And I don't mean that in a rude way. You don't need to be an art genius to take one glance at the line art in Chainsaw to know that this was either rushed or drawn by a noob artist. And you and I both know Fujimoto's no noob. Essentially, if you want to nail that Chainsaw Man art style, you need to nail the inking style. It is rushed, there is no thought to line weight, there's barely any line weight at all. Fujimoto constantly draws over lines he doesn't like because he rushed it instead of taking his time to draw a clean line stroke. Now it may sound like I'm roasting the art, but I swear I'm not. I love it. Chainsaw Man wouldn't be Chainsaw Man without its scratchy line art. If Yusuke Murata redrew Chainsaw Man, although I bet that'd be awesome, it wouldn't feel the same. So yeah, that being one aspect of the inking style in Chainsaw Man that makes it unique, another one is the way Fujimoto inks the folds on dark clothes with solid blacks. I can't explain it, but like look at what I'm talking about. If you want to learn how to do this, you need to understand and study number 1, how clothes fold on characters, and number 2, shadows and how they fall on clothes when being hit from varying light sources. And lastly, when it comes to inking, Fujimoto hatches in different ways, cross-hatching, parallel, etc. But the key thing is, Fujimoto flip-flops from hatching a lot to barely at all. It depends on the scenario or what he's drawing. More times than not, he will hatch a lot when he's drawing a monster or a fight scene or something like that, and he barely hatches when it's just a talking scene or something. So yeah, that's the inking style in Chainsaw Man. On close look, it looks simple and rushed and for lack of better words, lazy, but don't get it twisted. The art still comes out very, very appealing, gritty, and often beautiful. But yeah, now that we've covered the anatomy style and the inking style, let's move on to the toning style. Okay, so I don't want to spend too long on this section of the video. Why? Because Fujimoto's toning style is standard. You know, he tones dark clothing and objects, and like he will also tone backgrounds and stuff when necessary. Actually, speaking of backgrounds, Fujimoto draws backgrounds in the standard way. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he copied or traced over photos that he himself or his assistants took, you know, of the city or whatever for backgrounds. Essentially, his background art style is not unique at all, except for when he whips out some weird concept like this. Stuff like this and this, you can't teach. These weird background concepts are a product of Fujimoto's weird ass mind, bruh. But yeah, that being said, we've covered the anatomy style, the inking style, and now the toning style. Now it's time for the part of the video when I use all that we've learned to draw my own original character in the style of Chainsaw Man. Okay, so I'm going to be drawing my character Kane from my comic Metal Souls, and to give you an insight into what I have in mind when I draw Kane in the Chainsaw Man style, if you read my series, you know that Kane is military. So just like how Denji from Chainsaw Man has the Chainsaw Devil, if Kane was in that world, you know, the Chainsaw Man world, and had a devil, he would have like a pistol devil or something. Cause you know, I know my character and I know that's what he would be, a pistol devil. So yeah, I'm gonna draw Kane pulling his chainsaw cord, and I know it doesn't make sense to have a cord since he's a pistol and pistol don't use the whatever, shut up, leave me alone. But yeah, I'll draw Kane in human form pulling the cord, and then I'll also draw Kane in devil mode because I don't know, I want to draw that, that'll be cool. Okay, so as I'm laying down the rough sketches, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm being very, very rough and lazy about it. I'm not caring too much about anatomical correctness, and I'm also making sure to add the features like the boxy feet and the way Fujimoto draws eyes and noses. Okay, so with the sketch done, I'm now inking, and this is the most important part in nailing Fujimoto's style. I'm trying my best to not add line weight or care about it. You know, I'm using solid blacks when I can, especially on clothing, and making sure to hatch a lot, but not too much, just like the way Fujimoto does. And lastly, with the inks done, I'm gonna tone the drawing the way Fujimoto does, according to the points I brought up earlier when I talked about his toning style. And yeah, there you have it, my character Kane in the art style of Chainsaw Man. Is it 100% accurate? Hell no. Is it close to being identical? Maybe. You know, I don't know, I'd say it is. But yeah, whatever. Remember, like I always say, no one can ever have it be 100% identical to the author. Maybe 99%, but never 100. But yeah, that's that. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to destroy that like button to let me know that you enjoyed it. And yeah, make sure to also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well so you get updates when my dumb self drops a new video. But yeah, lastly, don't forget to leave a comment down below because I, Diddy Sensei, read and respond to any and all comments. Till next time, my beautiful art nerds, tis I, DD Mark. Peace and love, baby.